Who am I speaking with?
I'm Chris Ye. I'm the VP of Marketing for PB Works. I'm also an independent angel investor, and I like to write various things on my blogs, including Adventures in Capitalism and Ask the Harvard MBA, where you can ask any question in the world.
All right, I'm going to ask a question right now to the Harvard MBA. Yes. Uh, how how are organizations better utilizing these Enterprise 2.0 tools to, I guess, groom their talent or essentially discover hidden talents they didn't know about within their employees?
Got it. Well, I think that fundamentally the issue is a question of transparency. If you think about how we select talent, how we groom talent in the past, a lot of it is based just on the instant impression, the Malcolm Gladwell blink moment. Oh, this guy has CEO hair, he's tall, we should put him on the management fast track. And the problem is, the reason this happens is because so much of what we do is not transparent. It's opaque. How many times have you seen someone take credit for a project and senior management doesn't know any better because they don't have that transparency? That's what these Enterprise 2.0 tools do. They put transparency into the work process. That means that you can actually tell who's doing the work. You can see what activities have actually occurred. And that's why I think it's very important that user profiles combine not just the static information about job title, where they grew up, their hometown, and so on, but also the dynamic information of what they're working on, what they've done, what they've got on their plate. It's that kind of transparency that then makes it possible for HR organizations to see who is actually most productive. And you could do complex analyses based on the social networks, based on the activities they do, based on how much they deliver on time and under budget to figure out who actually is worthy of being groomed for the fast track.
That's interesting because in the previous sessions I was in, they were talking about metrics and about like how many times the word kudos is attached to Chris's name. Um, and my feeling is you can pretty much game that system like people kind of game social networking in general. So how does one measure that?
I agree with your statement. I mean, it really is true that if you say, okay, we're going to gather who gets the most likes, and that's going to get you a raise, well, guess what? Somebody's going to roam around and be a political animal and get the most likes, and they're going to get their raise, and the whole system will proceed as before. And once again, instead of having people with CEO hair rising to the CEO suite, we'll have people who are really good at getting likes rising to the CEO suite. So that's where I think that these collaboration tools and Enterprise 2.0 and social software really have to tie into the actual business processes, because you can't fake that, right? You can't fake if you actually deliver the end product to the customer and the customer likes it. So if you make things that can't be faked into the key metrics that are being measured, then it will be impossible to game the system. The only way to game the system will be to be a great performer, in which case, guess what? The system worked.
Okay, now I'm not in the system, but I desperately want to work for your organization. Is there a way that I can sort of weasel my way in or utilize, you because now I know you and your social network to get myself in?
Well, I think that comes down to the question of that boundary between the enterprise and the outside world. And most of these Enterprise 2.0 tools are very sort of inwardly focused. There definitely are some that cross that boundary. I know my own product over at PB Works is very focused on managing collaboration outside the firewall, so collaborating with partners and customers. But, when it comes to your company's impression, if you think about it, the primary interface that people learn about your company ends up being Google. When people Google your company, what comes up? And they're going to find the people who are associated with your company on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and what have you. So if you want to present the appropriate face to the world, it's your employees who are your face. Your corporate website, guess what? They're not going to pay attention. They're going to view that as uncredible. But the individual employees and what they actually say in their unguarded moments on Facebook and Twitter, that is going to be highly relevant to them. So your ability to massage and manage that impression really fundamentally relates to your ability to encourage your employees to actually like the company. There's not a lot of shortcuts. It just comes down to having a policy that allows people to express how they feel about the company, and hopefully they actually feel positive things.
Is there appropriate way for me to engage with someone within the company to, make my inroads? I mean, is there like a wrong way and a right way?
Well, I think there's a couple of right ways that definitely work out. Like, for example, if someone blogs and you take the time to read a blog post of theirs and post a thoughtful comment, that's a good way to engage someone. And I found it's remarkable over the past decade, we've seen all these things, blogging, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. And you can get in touch with people through these media in ways that you can't via cold email. And it's primarily not because you already know them, because you don't, right? They're a stranger to you, but because you have context around that communication, and because you can tell if somebody has really done their homework and actually understands what you're looking for.